Thanks for joining. We're going to have a panel today talking a little bit about sleeve packs and the what and the why of this high-performing reusable product category. So thanks for joining us. Really a distinguished panel, and I'll let them introduce themselves, starting with Dan down there at the end.
Hi, I'm Dan DeLore from Technology Container. We do all of our production outside of Dallas, Texas, a little town called DeSoto. We have 2 extrusion lines, so we can create our own sheets for making sleeve packs or corrugated plastic boxes.
Very good, thanks. Jorge.
My name is Jorge Preciado. I am the CEO of Hiperpack. We are a company that is based in León, Mexico, and we are part of a group of companies in which one of them extrudes the corrugated plastic fluted, and we manufacture plastic sleeve as well, and dunnage and automotive rack, among others. So nice.
Glad you're here.
Thank you for the invitation.
Of course. Matt?
My name is Matt Short. I'm the president of Short Technologies. We're a heavy gauge twin sheet thermoformer. We do thermoforming, sheet extrusion, and sleeve fabrication. We've been in business for 54 years, and we're glad to be a new member of the RPA.
Awesome to have you. It's a great organization. I don't know if this guy needs any introduction, but Axel, take it away, buddy.
Okay, my name is Axel Breitkreuz, funny German name, you hear the accent. I work for ID Plastics as VP Sales at the moment. Let's say our group is doing sheet extrusion, confectioning, sleeves forever. I personally started my career 30 plus years in selling sleeve packs. So I made a full circle in my career.
That's very good. And he actually said, we have the oldest and then it goes down to the youngest. So that's how we'll find out. Well, thank you all for being here. Hey, Matt, I've got a question, and we joke about this, but sleeve packs, they're a relatively new phenomenon, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes, 40 years in the making.
Yeah. No, actually, our company developed and patented the first twin sheet sleeve pack back in 1982. It was originally developed with a corrugate sleeve, and we were relatively successful here in North America with it, mainly in the textile industry, but actually it really took off in Europe. And Ford of Europe used it. They had probably 80,000 containers. It was a substitute for fixed metal cages and et cetera. And it really didn't take off here until probably in the last 10 or 15 years. And the main reason was the advent of the plastic sleeve. And what's ironic about it is that was also developed in Europe and most popular there, and then migrated here with a lot of the automotive suppliers and such who have come now to the States.
Very good.
And actually, what's also interesting about the whole thing is the sleeve pack predated what we consider today the modern day collapsible bulk box by more than 2 years. And until just a short time ago, you saw more bulk boxes than you have ever seen in sleeve packs. If you walk around the hall here today, there's probably more sleeve packs in booths than collapsible bulk boxes. And that's been a real change that I've noticed over the last 3 or 4 years.
I would completely agree. And I should introduce myself. I'm Paul Kampholz. I'm VP of Sales with Cabka. I'm 8 weeks in with Cabka, but I've been, like Axel, in the packaging space for more than 30 years. So what Matt is saying is 100% true. The transition to a flexible sleeve pack has grown immensely here in North America. Axel, you've been around a while.
Yeah, I am.
Can you share some experiences you've had with sleeve packs and customer testimonials or anything that you could bring up and share with the crowd?
Yeah, I can, of course, because my background is coming from Europe, and I remember the good days when I started selling sleeve packs. I was running in the competition with one sales guy with a unipack system and the cardboard sleeves and twin sheet, and I was running with an injection molding solution with cardboard sleeves. And I think one week we could just sit in one car. We hit the same customer the same day. He had an appointment earlier than I had, and it was fun. And we're still laughing about it when I see him somehow. Yeah, the development really started with the plastic sleeves. You got the intro, and I think the braking company who really brought sleeve packs to, let's say, a level where it's got a high acceptance was actually Volkswagen. They decided to go away from steel, rusty, whatever, for all the lightweight parts, foam parts, interior parts, everything is lightweight, and put it into sleeve packs, of course with plastic sleeves. And my estimate would be they have now a pool just in the Volkswagen logistic group of at least 500,000 sleeve packs.
Did they develop that, or did they find a partner to do that?
They found several partners to develop it and work together with it and go out of it. But that trend opened doors in every industry, because suddenly people saw, oh yeah, that's going. And I always say one of the biggest benefits of a sleeve pack compared to a classic FLC or whatever is the customization. You are flexible in height and drop doors and way how you cut the sleeve, what you do with it. If you buy a classic FLC, injection molding, we've all been there, I've been there, that's it, buy it, full stop. Don't have it lower, don't have it higher. No, this is what you get. Yep. No way out. Now these days we can say, if you have a sensible good, whatever, you don't have too much pressure on you, well, we make a sleeve just 2 foot high, and then put the next box or whatever. Or we have these crazy requirements, oh, I need it 6 foot high. Well, okay, we can do it 6 foot high. It's difficult to handle, but we can do it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest benefits, the flexibility you have. For sure.
That's great. And I think that's one of the beauties of the sleeve pack is it's really a nimble solution where you can adapt to whatever your customer needs are. Jorge, we joked that sleeve packs were relatively new here in North America, just 40 some years in. But really in Mexico, it is new, right?
It is kind of new. I mean, we started operations 10 years ago. However, we manufactured the sleeves handcrafted. We had to cut the columns, attach it by hand. It was a hard-working process. However, right now, we industrialize a little bit more our process and professionalize it. So we have a line of production, and we are pioneering the plastic sleeve production in Mexico as we speak. So good opportunities with Volkswagen, as Axel mentioned, with good opportunities in the automotive and the retail industry, but also we are targeting new customers because, or to replace the cardboard gaylors.
Right.
At the moment, we are talking with Bachoco, which is one of the largest poultry companies in the world. Wow. They employ almost 35,000 people in Mexico. And they want the sleeve. It's a new design. That's the beauty of it, because it's an hexagon, and they want it for the pasta, which is like the chicken, I don't know, the pasta.
Yeah.
And that pasta is sold for other companies like Purina, Nestle, that utilize that and produce food.
Pet food?
Pet food, yeah. So there are niche in which you can innovate and you can propose a customized packaging solution with the sleeve. Not only in the automotive, but yeah. So it is growing as well.
That is pretty interesting that it actually works with raw food and whatnot. It's really an adaptable solution.
Yeah, it is.
Great story. Yeah. Dan, what about you? Any customer testimonials? Any stories?
There's something called NDAs.
Yeah. I mean, that you can share. Yeah.
But going back in the early days, one of the big successes we had was with Ace Hardware. They ordered thousands and thousands of sleeves. They're still using them today. Unfortunately, I don't still have that business, but at the time, back around 94, 95, they filled up all of their distribution system with a sleeve pack that they were filling at their distribution centers. And if that sleeve showed up at a store, it meant everything in it was for this aisle. And that's how they were organizing their logistics systems. Back about the same time, we tried to introduce it to the post office. And we thought, wow, this is great. You know, it's waterproof. It's going to do a much better job than, unfortunately, Matt's paper box was doing. You had some great patents that kept us out of there. And 35 years later, I can honestly say the post office is still contemplating the use of a plastic sleeve.
They're going to jump right on that 35 years later.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck. Hopefully it doesn't take that much longer.
We're doing a lot of sleeves now with lightweight materials. Originally, most of the sleeves were of 10 mil, pretty thick gauge, heavy duty. We're starting to see a lot more requests for more of a shroud sleeve, something that will go over the top of a component that's being shipped, or so in some cases, it's a heavy pallet on the base, and then it might have layers of pallets in between that are of a lighter structure than the base pallet. And we're doing like 12 or 14-inch sleeves in between that, so that things like thermoforming plastic bottles and things of that nature can be shipped from molding to filling stations.
Oh, that's great.
Well said, Dan. Well said, Dan. Because it's a versatile enough process or product that you can lighten up the various components. For instance, the plastic sleeves, a lot of them are made with 10 millimeter, 3,000 gram. But there's no reason that you couldn't make it out of 2,000 gram. Or you can't,
2,500, 2,000.
or 2,500, whatever the case may be. And it goes the same for the pallets and the tops. At least in my technology, the twin sheet technology, there's no reason that you can't lighten up the pallet and top and make your container that much lighter. Whether it's, maybe for air freight or whatever it might be. And
yeah, you don't want to max load on a truck necessarily, so maybe they want something that's
sure, and that's something you can't do with a collapsible bulk box.
Right.
A collapsible bulk box, you get what you get, and unless you want to spend a lot of money and invest in tooling and such, that's what you get.
Yeah.
And it's not necessary. It's not really environmentally friendly either, because you're using more plastic than you really need to do the job.
Matt actually made there a good point. I have very often the comparison that customers say, oh, I have these FLC from that company, I don't care. And now I have to think about a sleeve pack. And they just ship light parts in that, forward and backward, and say, well, what is the empty weight of the FLC you are shipping? You're talking about 80 pounds, 100 pounds sometimes, just for the empty box to ship 100 pounds. So if you can scale that down, and you're talking about your CO2 footprint, well, just use a box with 60 pounds or empty weight. What you save there is a lot you can save. And if you go deep into the CO2 savings, and if you're a big corporation, you have specialists for that, oh, well, you get your credits for that as well. Yeah. You make money with it if you change.
And that also has evolved, right? I mean, I think Larry Fink from BlackRock maybe 5 years ago said, we're no longer going to invest in companies that just have a blurb in their annual report about what they're doing that's sustainable. We're going to actually invest in companies that are doing sustainable things. And so these companies, all of our customers, are now looking at that and saying, where can I have the greatest impact on my carbon footprint?
And by no means, I'm not bad-mouthing bulk bins or collapsible bulk bins. They have their place, but you want to do what's best for your customer, and whether it's a bulk box or a sleeve pack, that's where you should direct them. Good thing for all of us is our packs are much more versatile, and you can do a lot more with them.
Exactly. So I guess that leads to my next question. I mean, we've talked about a bunch of different applications. Who are we targeting? Are we going after the bulk boxes? Are we going after the corrugated gaylords? Is there a specific market or vertical that you guys see as you're having greater success that you can talk about?
Oh, we go after bulk boxes, steel racks, all of them. Small bags,
yeah.
You know what my classic answer is? If somebody approached us and said, hey, what is your market? Where do you sell to? And say, oh, my question, sorry, I know it's not polite to answer a question with a question, but what do you put in a shoebox at home?
It depends on the
Everything.
process as
Everything
well.
fits into it. It like really doesn't matter. Please stay away from liquids. No, we don't do any liquids. This is where we have special boxes, whatever. This is, I think we can all agree on shipping liquids, and no, that's not a solution for us.
Not yet.
Not yet. We are working on it, but that's maybe next session.
Innovation?
It depends on what the customer wants, and we are here to solve the need of the customer, no?
Yeah.
The
Find a
logistic
solution.
need. As we talk, the plastic sleeves are versatile, are customizable. You can put an RFID code and you can track it, trace it. So it depends on the logistic chain that the customer may require. That's my belief.
That's a good answer. And I agree. I think there's anything is the limit.
Yeah,
any opportunity.
sorry,
Please don't apologize.
It's really a little bit of what I learned in my 30 years is, and I always work that way, is if I go to a customer, I have a blank sheet of paper. Now I have an iPad, okay. But in the good old days, I had a blank sheet of paper and a pen, and I would just say, okay, tell me, what is your challenge? Tell me, where can I help? I'm not putting out, oh, I have this box and this box and this box. No. I want to know, what is the process? Where's your challenge in your process? Where can we optimize it? And then we have the flexibility, especially with sleeve bags, to design the right solution for that challenge. And that's mostly a winner.
I ask, what's your problem?
Well, that's another question.
It's not very PC either, Matt. I'm not sure you can say that these days. So relative to the bulk bins, right? The FLCs, you look at those and you think they got a really long life expectancy. Does it give a negative perception to our products, or what do you think the life expectancy is of a typical sleeve bag?
Well,
Definite.
Definite.
Okay, let me share some experience with our biggest customer, Volkswagen, with 100,000 of sleeve here. So we get a good feedback from there, and we know what in the rough automotive environmental, we're talking about a lifespan of 6 to 7 years,
Okay.
or even more. So
It's pretty good.
that's
And
pretty good.
sometimes they want repairs, right?
Oh yeah, we can repair that also.
we can repair.
Like,
That's really hard, right, Jorge?
It is. It's a necessary evil because
Yeah.
you want to keep the customer.
Yeah.
Sometimes we take projects and we repair sleeves,
Yeah.
and they will last for another couple of years or 3 years more.
Are you able to reuse any of that material from the broken sleeves?
We try to use it, and as I mentioned, in the other company that extrudes the corrugated plastic, we have a recycling center. So we ship it there. If it's not too polluted, we can use it. We can.
That's great. Full circle.
and a lot of it has to do too with Axel and Axel's company and our company. We use twin sheet technology.
Right.
There's sleeve packs out there that are made from injection molded pallets and lids or compression molded pallets and lids. Now, as twin sheet guys, yeah, we think ours is the most durable, but I think if you ask consumers, users, I think they would agree with that. Axel's company line is 6 to 7 years. But I can tell you after doing this for 38 years that I've been in customers' plants in the last couple of years where I've seen product that goes back to the 90s.
oh yeah.
I mean, it's
Without replacing the sleeve?
well, not necessarily the
Okay.
sleeve, but I've seen sleeves that go back to the 90s, corrugated triple wall sleeves.
Wow.
Yeah,
Pretty impressive.
yeah. It's all about how you use them and how you handle them.
Yeah, and if you talk about recycling, because we also are extruding material for our sleeves, so we do everything in-house. And yes, we have a take-back program and where we take the sleeves back, regrind them, and put them back in the extruder and make new sleeves out of it. So this is a full circle.
Vertical integration.
Yeah. Why do you think twin sheets is better than injection molded? Why do you think it's more durable? What specifically is it? Have you done analysis?
It's the process. It's the process, and it's the material we use in our process.
Okay.
Our materials are tougher. They have longer molecule chains, and when you hit if you took a twin sheet pallet and you run it into a beam, it'll bend. It won't fracture, crack, or break. You throw it on the floor, you give it a day to recover, and it goes back to probably about 80-90% of its shape. But if you hit an injection molded product, they tend to crack, fracture, and really renders the device unusable or dangerous in use. So that's
good. That's what the audience wants to know. What about the use of recycled material in your bases and in your lids? Are you doing that, or is it virgin?
Well, it is a question of there are recycled materials and recycled materials.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. It's the span of quality in recycled material goes from almost similar to virgin to better don't touch it.
Yeah.
And this is more your company policy. What do you want to sell, or how much pressure you get from your customer? I said we don't care about quality. We just want cheap. Well, then you get cheap. But don't blame us if it's broken after a year.
Gotcha.
That's a difference. So we use normally a high-grade recycled material where we can say, yes, this is what our quality expectation is, how we want to bring a product out and do it. Well, it costs maybe a little bit more, but
Otherwise, you can be flexible to whatever the customer.
You can do that. I always say the only reason why you need virgin is if you have direct food contact.
Okay.
If you really go in the hygienic food, pharmaceutical, they have the request for virgin material, yes, then you have to go with it. Otherwise, we even do a lot of recycled sleeve in the meantime out of recycled material.
That's great.
So,
that's good. Any questions from the audience that this group can answer? Yes, sir. Do we have a mic? It's coming up.
Mr. Stefano.
what questions now?
Introduce myself. I'm coming from Europe, from Italy. I have quite a big experience in the polypropylene sleeve. My question is not a technical question, but the vision. Don't you think to standardize the sleeve market, coming back from the layer pads market in order to have the exchange from customer to customer to avoid that the sleeve shipping to another continent or to another country, so it can be changeable like a layer pads, for example, or a pallet, yeah? So don't you think would be also a vision, a target who is making sleeve, producer, maker sleeve today?
Well, let me answer that. It's we always had in my life standard sizes and dimension for sleeve packs in our sales catalog. Everybody asks, what is your standard? So we have a standard. We define them. I can tell you 99% of the sales I did for sleeve packs is non-standard. They're always different. They're always different. To have a global standard like the European pallet or whatever, nice dream, but it goes a little bit away from the idea from optimizing the load capacity and the pack density and. If we could all agree on the standard lid and pallet, yes, maybe, and variation. But overall, my experience is always customized, always. It's just really never the same and the same and the same. I haven't seen that.
Did that answer your question?
Do you want to add something? Yes.
Are you questioning? Do you a standard board?
What will happen in 5 or 10 years?
Yes. But I understand that Mr. Breitkreuz.
Axel, it's fine.
Yeah. No, but it's nice what it means also for me. I know very well what means Breitkreuz. So I say this is a part because special size is okay. But then also I see in Germany for Volkswagen supplier like KTP and Fridola and Compel, as you want to say, or others.
Go on.
Yeah. No, I say, don't you think in the future you will regret to do not start also to standardize or to try to standardize in maybe 5 different size, 8, and density?
They are.
So it would be helpful after that to handle the sleeve all around the loop.
Yeah, but we all work with different footprints, different designs. I would see that to be a very difficult thing to do. And by the way, what would I do with my other 45 sizes of sleeve packs I make?
However, there are the standard winners, no, the 40 by 48, 45 by 48. But as Matt says, I mean, he has developed a few different dimensions, and what you need to do with your customers, like to show them the standard, so that it can be a little bit more. How can I say?
Uniform or
More uniform, less
Uniform,
customization.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I think what Stefano is trying to say here is, would it be nice if someone created a global pool like layer pads, where they had a few standard sizes and they pooled them and shipped them from country to country or state to state and used the same container? That would be a great business plan.
but a
I
challenging
agree.
one,
Quite challenging.
Very challenging.
challenging one to get through.
I can tell you from my experience in the VDA Council for Reusable Packaging here, when Volkswagen launched their sleeve pack system, and again, we're talking about in the meantime millions of sleeve packs what they have here. So, do you think anybody else of the OEMs using the same first tier, second tier supplier would accept a sleeve pack for their delivery? No. This is what Volkswagen do. We do something different. It's like, if we get us the demand from the overall market to develop something, well, why not? But I can't see the trend in the next 2, 3, 4 years. It's like people are so focused on their individual needs, and this is always priority one. I have to get my business effective, save my costs, optimize my supply chain, my processes, and if I have to give a little bit away to go to a standard, I don't do that.
We had a customer once that a pooling customer, and we developed a sleeve pack for them that cubed out a sea container perfectly, 2 different footprints, and that program was for sea shipments only between continents, and it was a very difficult product to market. It wasn't very successful, and I think it was mainly because of every country has their own way of doing things, their own standards, their own infrastructures, and I think that at the end of the day was probably one of the main reasons that it wasn't as successful as we all hoped it would have been.
And I think I know our company, Capco, we think of ourselves as a solution provider. We want to listen to the need of our customer, and every customer, for whatever reason, might have something specific that they require, whatever it is. And we have a can-do attitude. We want to do this. I feel all of my competitor friends here are the exact same way. They're listening to what their customer wants, and we've talked about the flexibility of this package in and of itself to be able to do something where it makes a business case, it solves a problem for our customers. We're able to do that. Now, standardizing and doing something uniform, that's utopia. If we could get to that, I think it would be hard to make it reality. I think it'd be a challenge. I won't be around when it happens. I can guarantee that.
Just like you don't sell the same sleeve to the same customer or to different customers. I don't have 2 customers that use the same thing. When we do boxes, it's the same way. Everything is customized.
Yeah.
It would be nice if there were standards, but whose lock are you using? What kind of a lock mechanism do you have? Do you want a door? Do you not want a door? Can
That's
you have
the
an
part
open
of the
handle?
innovation. That's the innovation part of the product, I guess.
But if you have the sizes, I mean, just the complexity of your customer having to comply within that box, whatever that size is, much more challenging for them to make the leap and do something like that, unless there was a mandate that made us do it. I think it would be a challenge. Any questions from out in the panel? Where are we seeing the greatest impact with a customer? What's a home run? Where's a customer that was really challenged and called you guys in, asked you to help solve a problem they had, and you had the greatest success? You don't have to divulge the customer name if you don't want to, but I know you talk a lot about Volkswagen, but that was a solution that they drove. And
Yeah, but there are daily small projects, I would say. We see a lot of change from people using traditional cardboard gaylords here, but then they have issues with, I maybe can stack it too high. I don't want to go 3 high because in the summer it's get humid, they get a little bit of cricket, and I don't know if my workers are fast enough to run fast enough if the stack comes down. So it's also a health and safety issue, and from the sustainability effect just for the side. And the payoff is really fast. If you see what you pay for a gaylord, what you pay for a sleeve system, it's normally the return of investment is in 6 months, latest in a year, you got the money back and it's paid off.
Yeah.
That's normal way. So this is where we have a lot of projects. People say, yeah, it's time to change. It's the idea of reusable and long lasting is slowly growing. And please don't get me wrong. Of course, I'm coming from Europe and I compare always Europe and America forward and backward. And yes, I voted. Yeah, I am citizen in the meantime. But I still say on these reusable idea, whatever, Europe is still 10 years ahead of America in
Everybody would
general.
agree. Yeah.
Maybe not in automotive and maybe not in pharmaceutical, but in the general industry, yeah, it's like so much wood and so much cardboard still out there, one-time use, disposable. I think there's business for all of us.
Yeah.
And this is why we have the reusable pavilion, because we want to change things. And this is why you see Matt and us. We are strong competitors, but, well, we come along. It's like there's enough business for all of us. So, and this is where I see the small, it's 100 boxes here, 1,000 there, whatever, change the mentality. But,
and the customers are happy they've made the leap.
oh yeah,
It had to be a
absolutely.
tough decision, but they're
Well, it is, but if you see the comparison, we have some old picture previous and after the change. If you see a nice stack of sleeve packs, nice 4 high, whatever, you utilize more of your warehouse space here. It's just nicer, cleaner, safer.
Yes.
And that's a big benefit for everybody.
Yeah. And another challenge with the tier 1, tier 2 companies, it's that they want everything fast, rapid. So you need to adapt to their requests and demands, and you have to be fast as well for them. So that's
and this
quite
gives
tough.
you the ability to do that, to be much
Yeah.
more responsive.
You
and
need to be
nimble.
flexible.
Yeah,
So rapid response for them.
that's good.
I'm curious if anybody in the audience has an application that they're thinking about eliminating paper boxes and going to a sleeve pack. Do any of you have any products that you can see changing the way you deliver or ship your logistics?
And the reason why Dan's asking is he'd like you to come see me.
I'm at the booth on the corner.
That's great. I love it. Well, very good. Anything else any of you would like to add?
No other questions?
That's good. Thank you all for coming.